So we emailed everyone on Shutter, we're okay, we're okay. And honestly, some of our set looks very real because it got more messed up.
Wow. All right, all right. Hello, Gigi. My name is Nigeria Chambers of Big O Belt Media, and it is a pleasure to talk to you today about a couple of things here. Because yes, we're here to talk about VHS 85, which is coming to Shutter October 6th. But truly, this has been a fascinating and fantastic, successfully year for you. And at this point now, I'm almost ready to crown you the anthology queen. So if you like that, we're gonna rock with that, okay?
I love that. I almost was the other day. It's funny. I said the same thing at the world premiere, and I said, if they make any other anthologies, I will riot if I'm not in them now. I will make a big stink about it. But it's hilarious. I love anthologies so much. They really make you just have all that creative freedom. And it's
Yeah,
just working with friends, made
yeah.
by friends every single time. So it's a blast. It's a blast. And by the way, I love your setup. Love the t-shirt. You're
Thank
winning
you.
more than me in
Oh no, 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 no.
hungover stage.
It is it is your world. I'm just living in it. And folks, again, we're here to talk about VHS 85, but totally check out Satanic Hispanics, which is available now. That is just another banger. And even going back to one of my favorite films of that year, Bingo Hell. And Gigi, you just continue to put out amazing projects.
Thank
But
you.
before we actually get into the project specifically here, I want to talk about something that's very important. And it's something that you've been a huge advocate about in all of your works. And obviously, when we talk about God of Death, it will obviously be a theme within it as well. And it's representation. Could you talk about just why this is important, especially within the Latino community, and through your body of work, how you continuously to strive and prove not only should we have more representation, but it's truly it's truly what we as the consumer we want and we need.
It's true. No, I love your question so much. Honestly, I don't think I would be able to do the type of content I do today if you were asking me this maybe 10, 15 years ago while I was in school. I even remember my attitude in school. I definitely was a yes person. Yes to whatever you want. Yes, this. Yes, yes, yes. But it's good to be a person that's honest and to say no and to actually speak from the heart and the truth. And I've learned that throughout the years. And with my feature debut, Culture Shock, that was honestly the learning lesson. It was the only project that I just kept pitching and auditioning and wanting it, and until one day I didn't understand why I wasn't getting the job, and but they kept calling me back until I realized very quickly that maybe I'm just not being honest enough. Yeah, I'm
Mm,
being honest with my vision. Sure, I'm being honest what I would do with it, how it would look, what actors I want. But I wasn't being honest with the heart of the script, the message of the movie, the intentions of what this film will do. And so for my last and fourth pitch, I did that with Blumhouse. I approached it not hungry, not desperate, not as a yes person. And immediately I said, okay, I think you've heard me of what this vision will look like. I think you've heard me of how I actually feel about the story. And this is what I would change. And this is what I would do. And right there, they're like, okay, you got the job. So I quickly realized exactly with what you just said, Nigeria. Right now, people want diversity. People are demanding not just diversity, authenticity. And
yes.
if I have that wild card in the back of my pocket, being Latino, then I'm gonna bring my honest and truthful experiences of what I understand and the stories I know how to tell.
Yeah.
So, as a filmmaker, the last thing I'll say is that we cannot, and I really mean this, we cannot look at this beautiful and amazing blessing of a job as a job. we have to look at it as a responsibility
Yeah.
because that's the only way change happens. And that's the only way conversations will start. So every project we do, whether the message is little, we have to be able to make it a responsibility to start a conversation of whatever it is that we need to say. So
Yeah.
yeah, mic drop, anthology queen out. And I have no crowd, but that's okay. We can
We're
just pretend.
we're like a team because I literally was about to say something just like that. I was gonna say, all right, that's it. We'll end the interview there, folks. It's been a pleasure.
That's so funny. That's so
Now,
funny.
now you're really dope, and just not only being a fan of your projects, being a fan of just your social media presence. I can't say your life because I don't know you, but like this is what you able to show on social media, and I definitely want to take a moment just
Thanks.
to shed a little bit of light and fun into your life. Listen, you're at all the festivals right now. And I
Yes.
just want to know for you, how is the experience being around, being talented in your own, but also just being around so many collected other brilliant people within this genre?
I can't stress enough how amazing festivals are. That's how I've met everybody in my community. That's how I have connected with so many amazing people. Even for VHS, like producer Josh Goldblum, I met him years ago. I'm talking
Yeah,
years ago at my first Fantastic Fest.
yeah.
And honestly, just by accident, because he was the only nice enough guy to help me find my way back to my Airbnb because my GPS stopped working. And so we stayed friends. So you never know who you'll meet. You never know who you're going to see again.
Yeah,
And it's at festivals. It's not just about networking, but it makes new friendships and you get to see other people's work and you need to be inspired by other people. That's the
yes.
only way you're going to make awesome stuff for real. Yeah.
Yep. Yep, yep, yeah. That's nothing but the truth. I do enjoy me a good festival, a good Comic Con, just all these different
Agreed.
establishments of just folks in the community coming together and
Totally.
yeah,
And what's even more fun is that yes, you'll see fans and people that love your work, but then you'll see and meet the odd fan here and there that doesn't know you for the movies. They know you for something else that's like maybe like a hidden gem, which is so funny. So
yeah.
at every festival, someone's like, "Oh my God, it's the Swiffer Sweeper girl." Or now at these last two, I'm like, "Oh my God, you're the Crest girl." I'm like, "Hey, yep, yeah, that's me." So it's always great that you will see people that know you for something that's like
Yeah.
totally under the radar, maybe. So I'm like, it's so cool. It's the best.
You know what? I had a question, and now I just think I know the answer, but I'm still going to ask it. And I think it shows to your personality. But even with you taking such the importance in your work in making sure the message representation, diversity, and inclusion is all within the work,
Yeah.
and wearing that as a director, and obviously you want to see the project come to light, and you want to make sure your vision is, as you mentioned, authentic as possible. And then some way, somehow, you still figure out a way to slide yourself in there in front of the camera for a little cameo here. I was going to ask you sort of what is sort of like the decision making, or who do you first alert when you're like, okay, so all of this happens, and by the way, I'm just going to be right there dead on the ground. Like, how does the conversation kind of go with this here?
I mean, you kind of said it word for word of how this goes down. We're gonna have all this happen, and by the way, I'm gonna throw myself. But I think I can speak for any actor directors out there, even just actors that uh, love this job so much. It's always great when you have the opportunity to write yourself a role, whether it's tiny, 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 or as little as how Hitchcock would do it. You got to do it. If
Yeah,
you have that chance to put fun stuff on the screen and you can be there.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of cameos. Maybe not anthology queen, but I would love to be cameo queen. Like Rob Schneider just
Yeah,
making
yeah,
it for
yeah.
some reason, and I want to be that person. You can do it,
Yeah.
Nikki. Like I want to be that random cameo on everyone's movies, especially if my friends' horror movies. I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like but you have to also stay honest. Like if the
Yeah.
cam is a little forced, a
Yeah.
little too M Night,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that it's a little
Yeah.
too forced, then
Yeah.
you'll take people out. You'll take people out sometimes. So I love the guy. Don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
yeah, if you have the chance, you gotta be in your own movies. Come on.
Yeah. You're a true student to the game. Listen, I really need to get in these other questions about VHS 85, talking about your short and God of Death. Now, this story is truly not only one of my favorites of the collection for this VHS
Oh,
and
thank
all of
you.
VHS, but the backstory, especially me being American, but also a little bit of a historian, so I'm aware of the earthquake in 85. So
Mm,
to not really put that together, but for you to emphasize, just how traumatizing this was for your family and friends throughout this time, and to readdress it, and then throw some horror on there, some supernatural horror in there as well too. Can you talk to me about the mindset in terms of wanting to tell this story, but tapping into something that one of the worst natural disasters for your country here, and then to add your touch to it, like it's essentially it's like facing your trauma head on, and that's a huge
definitely.
thing, and you're taking your work to do so. So can you talk to me about like coming to the table and wanting to bring this story to light?
Oh, Nigeria, I love your question so much. As soon as uh producer Josh said to me, okay, 1985, go, come back with an idea. And I mean, I started thinking random 80s ideas, but my producer, Rainer, he just looked at me and said, Gigi, this could be a historical event, the one historical event VHS, the earthquake of 85. And we're just so trained to erase so much of that in Mexico. And you're Mexican when you are the best at earthquake drills. Like, that that's you. And so we really put that all away.
Yeah,
Why? Because and also for some reason, one of the spookiest things of Mexico City is that we have an earthquake every year at the
yeah.
same time, mid-September. It makes no sense. And it's always so many, we're big believers and we're spiritual. Latinos are in general. So we love
Hmm.
believing that there's something underground. And, Mexico City being built on top of the Aztec Empire. There's always, why is it every year at the same time? Like, what is going on? And that earthquake of 85, I wasn't born yet. I was born in the 90s, but so many people died. And my
Yeah.
dad is a true Final Destination survivor. He just decided that day to not go to work and go to the doctor instead, which
Mm,
was on the other side of the city. He was
mm.
driving to work and said, you know what? I don't feel so good. I'm just going to make a quick stop and then I'll go to work. And there's no cell phones, no nothing back then that's easy to
Hmm.
communicate. So my mom was like, he's gone because his building is one of the ones that just
Yeah,
destroyed. So I knew going into this that it's going to hit a little too close to home. It's still too early for many. It will always be, I think.
yeah,
But I always find there is something so valuable about genre that you can give people entertainment with something that's real, and people will sit through it because
yeah,
people can barely sit through the news today. So if you can twist it in that way, people are going to have a blast.
yeah.
And so I wanted to do that. I wanted to also give my interpretation of why we got an earthquake every damn year.
Yeah.
So that's my interpretation. And I want to have fun with it too, of a trauma that I live with.
Yeah.
And even more important, how cool Shutter and the producers love the idea that we started with the news anchor based on real people
So
that
cool.
that
Yes.
passed away on live TV the
Yeah.
exact same way. So
Yeah.
even my cameo in the movie, my mom's the only person that has seen this before it's out on Shutter, and she even caught on to my cameo. It's based on a girl that always messed up on the news too. So I wanted to be as authentic and as fun and as real as I could, based on something that people still have a lot of trouble thinking about.
Yeah.
And but let me tell you one tiny little story though. My producer, Rainer, God bless that man, he said, you know what, Gigi, I'm a little scared to actually shoot this next week on September 19th last year. I was like, oh, come on, it'll be fun. We'll feel the energy. I said, he's like, no, I'm pulling the plug. Let's push a week. I'm like, "Oh, fine. Come September 19th last year, earthquake.
Mm, mm,
Earthquake.
mm.
So we emailed everyone on Shutter, we're okay, we're okay. And honestly, some of our set looks very real because it got more messed up.
Wow.
So getting
Wow.
the crew and the cast to actually come film days after we had an earthquake and an aftershock was not easy. So it was we woke something up, honey. So I don't
Ooh,
know. Yes.
ooh, ooh,
So that's a
ooh.
true behind the scenes. Yeah.
That that is amazing. Look, I know we're up on our time. I just gotta say three quick things and one
Yeah, yeah,
final
yeah.
thing we're in off with. I just want to ask the folks at Shutter and you, Gigi, please let's get Mama Gigi on here too, because she clearly knows some stories. We got to get her on here for an interview at some point. Cause yeah, like I said, she definitely knows some things. And I just want to say
Count
that
me in
hey,
anytime. Count me
let's
in.
do it. Let's do it. And the production with this is just fantastic. The low
I
light shots, the
appreciate that.
cinematography, those close areas, the emotions through the actors. It is it is chilling. It's a
Yeah.
fascinating story. So I don't know if there's money
Thank
to go
you.
ahead and flush out a feature length film, but I'll just pitch that real
I
quick.
would love honestly, the first thing I said, if Shutter doesn't go for this, I'll just make the feature of it. But it's true. Every single actor was it hit them in a different way because they were all from there, all of them.
Mm,
And even the actress that played the news anchor at the start, she said, I remember when I was little, well, not little, when I was younger, I saw that on TV.
mm,
And now that I get to play her,
mm,
this is not easy. So she always had to take a little second to start.
yeah.
And even the attention to detail, we couldn't have done this if we didn't go to Mexico City. So
Yeah.
even all our locations and even the location of me at the end, these are places that never got cleaned up, never got rebuilt, that are still like that since 85.
Mm,
So we wanted to go back and just feel that energy and be real with it for
mm.
sure.
Amazing. Folks,
Thank you, man.
VHS 85 releasing on Shutter October 6th is certainly not one you want to miss out. The VHS franchise has been fantastic. Obviously, pulling up for this one should be a no-brainer. Gigi, it's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank
And
you, my
and
friend.
and I do not want to get in trouble, so I'm just going to quickly ask for a quick yes or no with this question here. VHS next installment, do you want to go to the future or the past here?
Oh, that it like if the next is future or the past,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I'm gonna go with the past for sure. Like the
Okay.
past. More
There it
savage,
is.
more
There
savage.
it
The
is.
past is barbaric. That's why.
There it is. Thank you so much for your time, Gigi, and looking
Thank
forward
you,
to
my
talking to
friend.
you very, very soon.
Sounds good.
Take care.
You too.
Advocacy.